Lots of things happened in chapter 1087. Garp almost died, Aokiji is even more of a monster than we thought, and Shiryu is, just as we suspected, kind of a little brat. But first we get the best cover page ever to grace One Piece, and I'm gonna put it on screen because I love it so much. It is Ace with a capybara. That's it. It's beautiful, it's magnificent. Oda, this is what we want. The chapter starts in a really cool way because we actually get to see Garp's old training grounds. At the G1 base, they have a bunch of old ships, and Garp and Aokiji, as I'll get into, all they did all day, every day to train was punch it. No hockey, no devil fruits, nothing, just bah, bah, bah. And it gets to a core message of the Marines, which I love, which is a lot of these Marines weren't born as talented as, say, a Luffy or a Zoro. They have to work their way up. They have to grind. While the Yonko are all extremely talented by birthright. Kaido and Big Mom were born monsters. People like Aokiji and Garp trained to get to that level, and it's awesome. Brand New says, word for word, the strength of these heroes was not innate. And then that's when we get the flashback stuff. But I'm not gonna do a recap this chapter because I've realized those are boring for you guys to watch. So I'm just gonna be insane. Garp's durability is even crazier than we thought, although he does almost die, and I'll get into that in a second. But Sanwon Wolf and Vasco Shot. Sanwon Wolf is currently sinking to the bottom of the ocean. It's like a major alert. They have to rescue him or he's gonna drown. And Vasco Shot is, you know, doing his like fire liquor thing where he like sets the liquor on fire and like shoots it at people. And Garp is just tanking it because Garp is a Chad. It's not looking good for the Blackbeard pirates, but we have to remember Shiryu can and will turn invisible, and that isn't always the greatest for our heroes. Avalo Pizarro, who is currently inhabiting the whole island, by the way, if anybody forgot, that power is insane, even if it's just an upgraded stone fruit. I've been seeing people speculate that Robin's gonna be his final opponent. I gotta agree with what we see later with like the giant hand. That's just like such, it would be so cool to see a giant Robin mech. Is she a mech? Is it basically a mech? Because she's not in it, so maybe it's not a mech, but like a giant Robin just like boom, 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 fighting Avalo Pizarro. That would be so cool. Pizarro is freaking out about Garp destroying Pirate Island. He's like, dude, don't do this right now. All the minions are like, dude, Teach is gonna kill us if he destroys our base. Like, they worked hard to get this island. I don't think people like Wang Ji gave it up willingly. And of course, they had to deal with Kobe and Law at some point, like screwing up with the Rocky Port incident. And of course, they also got attacked by Moria during that time period. So there's a lot of, like, there's a lot at risk if this island is destroyed. Teach is not going to be happy. Then we get something really cool from Garp, where Garp actually says, yeah, you're right, we should head out, because he gets a call from his ship and they're like, hey, Garp, we're all good to go. Citizens are free. Everything is fine. We can leave right now. We have everybody. And he's like, cool, okay, maybe I just won't destroy this island. And they all start to leave. And of course, Aokiji shows back up, clearly having climbed out of the hole that Garp just yeeted him into a few chapters ago. Garp, Groose, Helmeppo, and Kobe, the hero, all square off against Aokiji in a beautiful manga panel that is up there with like some of my favorites, including the Shanks panel from, I think it was 1079, where he and all like the giants and his crew are behind him. Like, this panel is so cool. But yeah, Garp orders his troops. He's like, guys, we have to run at full speed. I'll hold Aokiji off. Just go, get out of here. Like, you guys are gonna die against Aokiji. Where do you think Kobe stacks up right now in terms of like, do you think he's on a Vice Admiral tier yet? I really think we need to see him do something within the next few chapters, because this is the golden opportunity for Kobe to actually show off, right? Before we get the Aokiji confrontation, Garp gets shanked by an invisible Shiryu. But Garp seemed to know that he was going for him, so did Garp see the attack coming? Garp doesn't take this lightly, though. He grabs Shiryu and just yeets him. He just, take this, boom, right into the ground. Now, this is a cool durability feat, because, I'm gonna be real, I don't think Garp's dead. I don't think he's gonna have an Ace-like death. Even though the panel was a cool homage to Ace, I think Garp will survive because if Garp dies here, I really can't see Luffy not going straight to Blackbeard and delaying the rest of his journey. Because even though, like, he didn't even put aside his journey for Vivi, I don't think any of the crew would be able to talk him out of it. And he is the captain. He would probably just say, okay, I have the final say. We're gonna go beat the ever-living shit out of Blackbeard. Plus, Garp says he's fine. So, I mean, he is currently lying on the ground, bleeding out. But if, you know, we're just gonna take Garp's word for it, because as I've said many times in this video, he is an absolute monster and minor menace to society, even though he's a Marine. Speaking of Marines, the Admiral Bounties were revealed. Garp's bounty is 3 crowns, which translates to 3 billion berries from the Cross Guild. He is also stated to have the same bounty as the 3 admirals, being Kizaru, Ryokyugyu, and Fujitora. Maybe this pairs up Kizaru and Luffy to fight now because their bounties are the same, but I'm still really on the fence about how Egghead is gonna shape up at this point, dude. It's chaos. Aokiji storms in to fight Garp, and it's really cool, but not as cool as Aokiji hyping up his former mentor, being like, hey guys, listen, you can bind his arms and legs. You are not claiming that 3 billion berries. Let me handle this, you absolute pathetic pirates. Then we get what might be a Conquerors hockey clash. At least Garp is using his Conquerors hockey, because we get Garp's fist and Aokiji's ice glove pounding into each other, just clashing. All of that hockey and devil fruit power bouncing off each other. All the raw strength they honed. And we get the flashback to that of them training, Garp taking Aokiji under his wing despite him being like, dude, I don't want to train you. And he's like, train me anyway, boss. And he'll be like, which is also really cool to see. Garp has kind of evolved in like the way he views training pupils. Now it's like, well, if I train Kobe, he won't end up like Luffy and Sabo and Ace did as pirates. So I might as well train them as Marines. There's a really sad line given during this exchange by Aokiji, and I think it does refer to people like Luffy, like Sabo, like Ace, where it's, you have a habit of training enemies. You have a habit of training people who will become people to fight against you. And I've never really thought of it that way, but he's right, and it hits me in the feels, man. Also, one more thing about the flashback, we see Garp venting to Kuzan about Ace and Luffy saying they're gonna become pirates, and it is so funny, dude. It is absolutely priceless that Garp just goes up to this guy, who is an admiral at this point, just like, Kuzan, I have things to complain about. And Kuzan's like, dude, I'm too busy. He's like, no, you're not, listen, I trained you. And then they just do. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I think Aokiji has Conquerors hockey. I don't know if he has advanced Conquerors. I think Garp might, but I don't know how to tell that. I've seen people say that, oh, it might have a sound effect. I didn't pay attention, so I don't know. Sorry, don't kill me. I'm not a fake fan, I swear. They set sail without Garp, without Kobe, without Helmeppo, without Groose. Although, let's be real, they're probably just gonna jump to the ship because they're awesome. And, like, come on, it's Garp and crew. Like, yeah, they're powerhouses. We see the thing that I mentioned in the beginning, which I follow Pizarro slamming the island hand towards the ship. So, let's pray to God Bogard does something. If you do not remember Bogard, he is Garp's right-hand man, and I am championing him to be the hero that they need. Or, as I said, Kobe could do something really cool here. If Kobe's able to knock out a commander of the Blackbeard Pirates, especially an Island Man, Kobe stocks will be through the roof. Like, if Kobe's able to do anything here, I'm comfortable putting him in the top 30. I need Kobe to do something, Oda, and I'll take anything at this point. Crumbs. Just have him, like, punch the island with hockey or something. So anyway, as always, boys and girls, I have been your host, Lettuce Eating Walrus. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. This may be the last chapter review for a while. I intend to focus on making other content. I'm gonna try a lot of stuff in the next month.